Hey, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto Was From a Special Clan, Part 3. Um, oh yeah, go subscribe to Anime Sensei, Iconic What If, Obito What If's links will be in the description, and yeah. Why am I so tired? Is it because of the clouds? I don't know. Other than that, so I think I managed to fix my sleeping schedule. Probably. Oh, I also am going to make another video that's actually gonna details about what's going to happen on August 8th. But yeah, other than that, let me continue on with this what if, and I'll shut the fuck up. So, last time that I left it off was where Naruto met his teammates. So, Naruto met someone named Sayana, Sayana, and another guy named he met someone Hachi. So he met someone with white hair and golden eyes. His name is Hachi, and of course the girl has purple eyes like crystallized, and her name is Sayana. Well, also her hair is like pinkish with a little bit of black in it, or not pinkish, mostly purple and black. So yeah, of course this is where they are from two clans, and while Naruto is also from two clans, um, two very dead clans, but I'll mention about that later. So Naruto, he goes back to kind of talking with Kurisuki. Kurisuki is kind of like making Naruto food, but yeah, because it was the next day. Now, of course, Kurisuki, she tries to cook, but of course, sometimes the food comes out burnt, and Naruto just eats it and doesn't care that much. But yeah, of course, Onoki was there in the table, just asking Naruto how was his first day in meeting, people that might actually just care about him. This is where, Naruto said it was fine. This is where, while Onoki was talking to Naruto, he was also eating the food that Kurisuki made, and when he bite into it, his whole face went blue, his eyes rolled backwards, and he was just gargling from the mouth. This is where when Naruto was eating the food, he didn't really care because he has eaten worse. In the Leaf Village, people had to try to poison his food and all them other things. So of course, Naruto doesn't really mind the food. Kurisuki says, "Grandfather, are you serious?" Well, Naruto, sorry if I can't really see you off to your team. I have to take grandfather to the hospital because it seems that he's dying. Don't worry about it. He's not actually dying. He's just old. So yeah, bye. This is where she just takes, Anoki towards the hospital. But yeah, this is where, Anoki is kind of slowly dying. He just says, Naruto, if I die, I want you to be the successor of the Stone Kage. Naruto says, aren't I too young for that? Don't mind it. Ignore everyone then. This is where Kurisuki just takes him anyway. But yeah. This is where, Anoki was in the hospital for only a couple of hours. But yeah, it was just poisonous. He was just sick from the food. But yeah, a little bit. Not even for 2 hours. Just a couple of minutes. But yeah. Of course, he goes back to his tower. But yeah. This is where Naruto meets Hachi and even Sayana. Or, actually, I'm gonna change Sayana's name to Muraski no. Yeah. Or wait. So her name is Suki, and of course she is, just waiting for the Jonin Sensei, who is named what's it called? What did I actually call him? I forgot. You know what? I'm gonna call him Iwa. So of course he comes and kind of looks at his student and says, "Okay, we are starting on the D-rank missions now." This is where, they start doing D-rank missions around the village, even kind of just chasing a dog, like a wolf, instead of being a cat, because that'll be the Fire Country's called cat Tora. It's a dog, but this dog is more what's called less to be running out and more of just kind of getting lost a little bit because it's kind of old. Of course, Naruto meets the dog, and the dog usually does growl at people that he doesn't like, and sometimes will try to bite at them. But of course, I'm gonna say this dog is a German Shepherd. So yeah, it's an old German Shepherd. This is what I did say wolf, but you want me to change to German Shepherd. So of course the German Shepherds right now are just growling at Naruto's team. Of course, it's growling at Iwa. Yeah, but not Iwa. I'm gonna call him Iwa or Iwa. Iwa. So of course it's growling at Iwa, the Johnny Sensei. And when Johnny Sensei says, "I really never had good luck with what's it called?" He said, "I never had good luck with King Zeku because that's the German Shepherd name." Now the German Shepherd, instead of having like a brownish color of like fur, it's actually a silver color, like a metalish color. But yeah, his claws are actually kind of metal also. He's a special type of German Shepherd. That's actually, from a special type of clan German Shepherd anyway. Or class, exactly. So, of course, Kinexu is just growling out, Iwa. When it comes to Suki, she gets scared also because Kazuka doesn't like her. And neither does he like, Hachi. Now, Hachi did try to, get his beast away from, the German Shepherd. Until, Naruto goes up to the German Shepherd and kind of just sits right in front of it. The German Shepherd does growl and roar at, Naruto. And it sees like every time it just roars and growls, Naruto doesn't flinch or anything. Instead, Naruto pulls out like a note, like a notebook. A notebook just with a piece of paper. Pulls out a box and pulls out like a pencil and all that and starts, pencil and like paint and other things like ink. And starts just drawing the German Shepherd. This is where, the German Shepherd was looking at Naruto until I realized one thing when Naruto put on his glasses. It looked just like Naruto's father. And even just a little bit of, what's it called? What kind of name was it called? Naruto's name? I might just call it Laura. I can't remember, but yeah. I've been changing names, but yeah. Laura. Of course, this is where, the German Shepherd then calms down and goes up to Naruto. And just sits there. Like a kind of good dog. Because it has met Naruto's like father before, when it was a younger pup, and of course, it just reminds him so much of Naruto's father. Now, I should be giving Naruto's father a name, but I can't really think of a name right now. But yeah. But of course, is where, actually I do. Okay. So, Naruto's father is named, Creatable from the Artist clan, but yeah. Of course, is where the dog is just like lowering down his like whole body and just lays down mostly. Not sits, mostly lays down next to Naruto. And Naruto's basically just keeps looking up a little bit, but yeah. Of course, is where, Kenexudu is right now just looking at Naruto, really getting reminded of, he's gonna remind it of, basically Naruto's father, so yeah. Of course, it's not Minato Makazu that's Naruto's father, or someone else, but yeah. Of course, where, Iwa can see that Kazukizu actually likes Naruto, and is right now just laying next to Naruto. When Hachi and even, Suki, like, sits next to Naruto, Kazuku is not really attacking them or even barking at them. So, of course, is where, when Iwa gets close, Kazuku does kind of, like, get up and growl at, Iwa. This is where Iwa says, "Are you fucking serious? I can't even get close to my goddamn students." Fine. This is where Naruto, after finishing the drawing, he then just bites a little bit of his blood. And this is where the Johnny Sensei is seeing this, and he does get reminded so much of, the art. The art is jutsus. Because when he was younger, he has met someone who was very incredible with artist jutsus. This is where he even saw the jutsu perform from Naruto. It was similar to the same as Kazuku. Of course, it had the same details, the same look and all that. It even had the same scar that was kind of near his eye that Kazuku does have. So, of course, Kazuku looks at the dog drawing, sniffs at it, and sees that it's fake for him, but he can see that it's real by looking at it. Of course, this is where, when the Johnny Sensei gets near the dog, well, both of them, they start kind of growling. Even though one doesn't make noise, the other one does. This is where the Johnny says, seriously? Even if one is fake, it'll still have the same attitude as the other one. That's very interesting. This is where, well, Hachi and even Suki are just looking at Naruto and they're very amazed. Hachi did wanted to ask Naruto if he can make a hive of bees. This is where Naruto, he seems a little bit more tired than normal. When he created that, well, the same size and height as Kazuku, it took a little bit more chakra than he expected. So, of course, Naruto seems a little bit tired. He has one eye closed, and of course, it's breathing hard. This is where, well, Hachi kind of looks at Naruto and says, dude, you okay? Naruto says, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. This is where Suki says, you don't look fine. Did you... Naruto says, you use a bit too much chakra? I think. So where, well, Suki and Hachi then nodded and did kind of give a hand to Naruto so he can stand up a little bit. So yeah, that's what Naruto does. He stands up a little bit. Of course, his legs are shaking, but yeah. This is where the Jonin Sensei noticed that also. It seems that Naruto, even though he can perform a very, like a good-ass replica of, well, the drawing that he ever made or anything, he still gets tired from just using it too much chakra. It seems Naruto is not great at chakra control that Iwa can see. That's probably because of the Nine-Tails. He probably put too much chakra before. He was the Nine-Tails Shijiriki host before. So it could be just because he doesn't know how to control his chakra. So of course, Naruto, he gets kind of tired and does actually falls down. His leg skips up. But this is where before he can even fall, Kizuki did catch Naruto. Of course, this is where the painting of, well, the drawing, mostly painting drawing of Kizuki does disappear. It turns into ink and just dies. This is where Naruto gets way too tired and just passes out. This is where Kizuki does decide to carry Naruto. Even though it's old, it is still tough and very, it still has a lot of strength. So of course it just carries Naruto. It lets Naruto just be on his back. Now of course I should mention Kizuku. Kizuku is the height of not like a German Shepherd height. It's bigger than that. I would say about. I'm gonna say it's 5 feet, and that's pretty tall for a dog, or 6. You want me to just say 6 feet? Not 6 feet. Not 5 feet. It's what's it called? 4 feet. 5 feet would be too tall, but yeah, 4 feet. Of course, Naruto's on his back just riding, but yeah, of course he's too tired. So of course, Suki does grab what's called Naruto's supplies and just kind of carries him along. Of course, it's where Kizuki does go to, well, the Tsuchikage's office. Now, of course, when they get there, the Tsuchikage looks at the team and sees Naruto pass out. This is where he asks what happened to Naruto. This is where the Jonin Sensei said that he might have what's it called? He made a good drawing and replica of Kazuki, but it seems that he uses way too much chakra and passes out. What's it called? Anoki says, I see. I really do gotta train him more in chakra control. That reminds me, you also do have to help him in chakra control. This is where I was nodding and says, I will do my best. This is where, well, Anoki says, interesting. It seems that some people usually don't get to ride Kizuku. This is where, Kurosuke does bust through the room and says, hey grandfather, wait, Kizuku? This is where she sees the giant German Shepherd and goes up to it and hugs it. This is where King Zutu is kind of just glad to see also Kurosuke. Because even though it doesn't like most of humans, it can actually, be very calm in some humans. Like Kurosuke. And even someone else with blonde hair, long blonde hair, and blue eyes. This is where, well, King Zuku is right now just looking at Kurosuke and very glad to see her. of course, just kind of having his tongue out and kind of got like a dog and all, because it is a German Shepherd. But of course, this is where Kurisuki, even though hugging at it, it does remind her so much of, well, Deidara. And she's kind of sad. She kind of drops a tear for a little bit, and then she just hugs the dog, because it does give her comfort. Even though the dog is kind of old, it's pretty old, and she doesn't really mind. So, of course, this is where, Onoki says, "What do you want, Kurisuki?" Oh, Kurisuki says, "Oh, grandfather, I just wanted to see if you're okay and not dying." Onoki says, "Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it." This is where, he then thinks about it. Wait, did Naruto eat your food? This is where Kurisuki says, "Yeah," and he seems normal in the morning. Onoki says, "We might have to get him to the hospital." This is where Kurisuki says, "I'm not that bad at cooking. He said he was fine." This is where, Onoki says, no, we gotta get him to the hospital. This is where Kurisuki grumbles in her, under her breath, but yeah. Of course, German Shepherd kind of just heard that, but he kind of just still doesn't mind what Kurisuki kind of says. Not Naruto, Kurisuki. But yeah. Of course, this is where, they do take him to the hospital. The doctor does say that it's just exhaustion from chakra exhaustion, but yeah. This is where, Onoki says, at least it wasn't the food. This is where, Aiwa says, still, even though he has a large amount of chakra from the Nine Tails, does that mean that he can still be the Nine Tails host, wouldn't he? This is where Onoki says, I would never, ever sacrifice Naruto to be the Nine Tails, Toby's, Jinchuriki again. Aiwa did nod and said, I'm sorry. No, I'm not saying that he should be the Nine Tails host again. I'm just saying, is that even impossible? After being one time a Nine Tails, not Nine Tails, a Jinchuriki host, can it be again? Or is that just over for the previous? This is where, Masayu Onoki says, I don't know. I still don't care. Naruto's too precious for me, so I can't really care that much. This is where, Aiwa nods and says, I see. Then, what do we do? Well, we first gotta train him in how to use chakra. Because even though he is going to start learning how to draw and get better at it, it's still better to have him at good as chakra control so he won't waste as much like the first time he used it. Wait, did he even first use it? Yeah, he. If I can remember right, Hachi did say that he did made a bee, a small bee. This is why, Onoki nodded. It seems that Naruto kind of did went into one special room that had his father's kind of scrolls and other things for jutsus. This is where, Onoki says, I see. Well, then let's train Naruto. This is where, I want not. Yeah. So we go into a time skip of 2 months. Naruto has been nothing but just training chakra control. He might be learning other jutsus, but mostly it's chakra control. And that is to kind of learn how to put chakra into earth, like a rock and all that, and make it explode. Like, make it just burst out. So yeah, he's just putting small amounts of chakra. So yeah. He also does put small amounts of chakra so it can be rebuilt. So yeah. That is the chakra control for him. But yeah. Of course, he also does learn how to walk on walls, mostly on flat surface of like earth walls, but yeah. And even does learn how to walk on water. So yeah. Of course, doing this so many D rank missions that they actually got assigned a C rank mission, just one. So yeah, the C rank mission was to kind of meet up with a sand ninja team and kind of go on from there to kind of help them on just getting rid of some bandits near the border. So yeah, of course is where Naruto team nodded, and this is where they go on. That's where Inoki is hoping that Naruto doesn't get in trouble or anything like that. That's where Kurosaki says, "They'll be fine, father. It's not like they're gonna be bad." You realize that Naruto's already strong enough with his artist, what's it called, artist jutsus, but also with his explosion jutsus. Do you not remember the last time Naruto used an explosion jutsu that was a card you gave to him? This is what Inoki says. In my defense, I wasn't thinking it would be that explosive. Naruto, what he did is learn a explosive jutsu from his mother's side, because Inoki gave him that jutsu, and this jutsu was called this jutsu was called Grenade Ball, and that is just like he makes chakra. He turns it into a ball. It does become like a yellowish color, and then just turns into a greenish color, and then he just tosses it at something, and it explodes. Which when Naruto did it, instead of having to explode like 4 inches wide or something like that, it exploded more than that. It exploded what's it called? It exploded what's it called? Well, instead of being like did I say 4 inches? No, instead of being like 10 inches, or not 10 inches, like 5 inches, it exploded into being kind of like at least 1 feet from each side. So yeah, this is where Inoki was shocked, but yeah. So of course Naruto does seem to have a higher infinity to explosion release, and also a higher infinity to something else. Well, higher infinity to fire mostly, but other things like that. So of course when what's called Naruto's team does go to near the border, they do meet up with a team. A team that contains a puppy user, and well, mostly an old lady that's a puppy user, and of course a Chio. This is where she has actually another team, like 3 other students. One with what's called brownish hair, and of course has like something on his nose, like a bandage, and has brown eyes. Of course, he is somewhat just someone that is trying to learn how to use wind side. So of course he has one Tonto in his side, trying to add wind chocolate for that. A girl with what's called reddish hair and brown eyes, and of course she is a puppy user. And of course, what's it called? Someone else that has what's called, well, I should say, black hair, not brown eyes, black hair, black eyes, or not black eyes, I'm gonna say, yeah, black eyes. Of course, is kind of having one sword on the back, but yeah. So, that's him, but yeah. This is where Chill sees the Jonin Sensei for what they call, well, Iwa? Wait. So, of course, this is where, well, Chill sees the stone ninja named Iwa. And, of course, this is where, well, Chill says, I see that you must be the Jonin Sensei for Iwa. Or not Iwa. For mostly, well, it is Iwa, so I'm gonna call him Iwa instead. He must be the Jonin Sensei for Iwa. So, I'm actually gonna change Iwa's name to Tetsu instead. Okay, it's just because I keep fucking up the names, and it kind of gets me confused for the Stone Village name is Iwa, so yeah. So of course she'll say, I see that your name is Tetsu. I guess you will be, well, the Jonin Sensei for, well, Iwa to kind of help and get rid of some bandits. This is where Naruto sees the girl with red hair and brown eyes looking at him, and this is where Naruto looks at her back. Now I should mention one thing, Naruto's hair isn't spiky, it's kind of long. It's long and he doesn't have whisker marks, so yeah. Of course, Naruto's eyes is one blue, one red. And of course his glasses is right now on top of his head. But this is where Naruto just, from his corner of his eye, can see the red haired girl is actually looking at him. So of course this girl just keep looking at Naruto, but Naruto doesn't really care. So of course they do stay on each other's, well, not each other's borders, they just stay away from each other's border, so yeah. So basically Naruto's team stays on their border, while what's called Chio's team does stay and what's called their border. But yeah. of course, we go into a distant place, a very distant place, kind of near, what's it called? Near the not hidden village, mostly near the land of wind, kind of walking around. And this is where, well, they kind of got a bounty to kind of go hunt an S rank ninja. Now, of course, the bounty is about like 5 million at least. And of course, this is where one is in, well, not in their puppet, mostly walking free because, yeah, it look kind of suspicious if they are kind of, well, if this person's in his puppet mostly. So this person has red hair and has the Akatsuki cloak, or mostly the cloak, and has brown eyes. This is where, well, so he has red hair and of course brown eyes, and of course is looking ahead. This is where, well, his partner has blonde hair, blue eyes, has, well, one eye is being covered up by his long blonde hair, and of course has the Akatsuki robe. Now, of course, has, well, mouth for his hands. Now, of course, this is where Deidara says, "So, Sasori, we're here in your kind of home country, isn't it? Kind of looking for a missing ninja. So, have you had any, like, family or anything in, well, what's it called, the Land of Wind? Isn't where, well, Deidara basically being annoying to Sasori. Sasori looks at him and says, "Screw off." That's where Deidara says, "Come on, Sasori, aren't we friends?" This is where, well, Sasori says, "Friends. Yeah, the only friend I'd rather have is art." This is where Deidara kind of laughs and says, "Seriously? That's kind of depressing, not gonna lie. Your only friend is being plastic? That's sad." This is where Sasori says, "What you just say, you bastard?" This is where, well, Deidara just says, "Because, you know, plastic isn't art. An explosion is." This is where, well, Sasori says, "Oh, shut the fuck up. You're one to talk, you fucking explosion freak." This is where Deidara says, "Why, you brat." This is where, well, they're the same age, I should mention. Even though Sasori, I think, was older than Deidara, but yeah. I'm gonna say Deidara is kind of, what's it called? Okay, I don't even remember what the age of Sasori was, but I'm gonna say they're kind of 16. But yeah, because Deidara is 16. This is where, well, Sasori says, "Oh my gosh, shut the fuck up and let's just go." This is where something falls off his pocket, like a photo, like a picture. And like a picture falls off, well, falls from actually Sasori's cloak. And this is where Deidara says, "Hey, what is this?" This is where what he sees in the picture is a red-haired girl with brown eyes, and of course just a little bit shorter than Sasori is, because next to it is Sasori when he was in human form. This is where, well, Deidara says, "Hey, what is this?" Huh? Interesting. Is that you? And who is her? This is where Sasori turns around so fast, grabs the picture away from Deidara and says, "None of your business, you fuck. Let's just hurry up and do this goddamn S-rank mission." This is where Deidara says, "Whoa, shit. I didn't know you had a sister." This is where Sasori says, "It's none of your damn business. Let's just fucking go." This is where Deidara says, "Sure, why not?" This is where Deidara does get reminded of his little brother, because he does remember that after Sasori finding out that Sasori does have a sister or whatever. But yeah, so we go into the mission with Naruto. Now, of course, this is where, well, yeah, I think, what did I call him? Katetsu? Yeah, Katetsu or Tetsu? No, I'm calling him Tetsu. I think it was Tetsu. Yeah, because Tetsu is iron in Japanese. But yeah, so yeah, Tetsu and Chill were fighting against these kind of B-rank ninjas that were actually supposed to be in the, what's it called, hideout. Now, of course, this is where Naruto's team and even what's it called, the Sand team, were fighting against, well, the bandits. Now, of course, Naruto was just throwing what's called grenades at the what's called bandits, and he keeps throwing multiple of them because he can just spam attacks mostly. This is where, well, Naruto starts drawing. This is where Naruto starts kind of trying on all that. Well, not trying mostly. He just keeps throwing grenades and all that. And of course, this is where, well, some of the bandits getting exploded, and yeah. This is where Hachi and even Katsuki are just getting ready to defend Naruto and all that. Until this is where, well, something kind of rolls out and busts through, well, the wall of like one of the hideouts. Because this is not just your normal campsite. It's kind of like one in the middle is like a building and all that. And something busts through it and of course starts attacking Hachi and even Suki. This is where Suki and Hachi manage to jump away. Suki managed to create an amethyst like shield. And of course, even though the attack gets blocked, she still gets pushed pushed away, just gets hit by Hachi into a tree and all that, or mostly into a stone wall. But yeah, this is where Hachi and Suki are kind of knocked out for the count, because yeah, this is where, well, the person or beast or whatever it is kind of attacks the sand team. Naruto keeps throwing, was throwing like grenades, but it seems it wasn't getting affected or anything. So Naruto says, damn it, if only my explosions were much more stronger. This is where when the sand team tries to fight back and told what's it called, well, the red hair girl to kind of run, they say, they told Akka to kind of run because they won't be able to defeat this beast or anything or whatever. So of course this is where the black hair pulls out his like sword and adds wind chakra, even though his wind chakra is weaker. And this is where the other guy did try to pull out his tauntaun and try to fight against, well, this beast. Of course they try, but this is where they get knocked out of the way. And this is where Akka was about to get hit until Naruto rushes towards her by kind of crossing the border, even though they are not allowed to. But of course this is where Naruto grabs her out of the way by kind of just grabbing her and getting her out of the way. Of course, the attack was a slam to try to crush her, but Naruto managed to catch her out of the way. This is where Akka was kind of looking at Naruto, and Naruto says, "Are you okay?" She says, "Yes." She gets stuttery because, yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Naruto says, "Shit." Another attack. Naruto then grabs her and tries to pull her out of the way. This is where another slam attack tries to hit Akka and Naruto's position. This is where Naruto says, "You can still move and run, right?" This is where Akka says, "Yeah, I can." This is where Naruto says, "Good." This is where Naruto says, "You don't mind if you can support me for a little bit, right?" This is where Akka says, I can, I think." This is where she then pulls out what's it called? She has a scroll, and this is where she pulls out 2 puppets from the scroll. This is where she then connects it with her chakra strings towards these puppets. And of course these 2 puppets, well, one has like 3 arms, but of course they're blades. And of course this is where the other one has, well, kind of looks like a dog, like a wolf and all that. And of course that's the type that she can have, well, she mostly created. This is where, well, the 3-armed one tries to attack, well, the beast, trying to claw at it with, well, not claw at it, mostly slash it with 3-armed swords. And of course this is where, well, the beast or whatever it is just not being affected by it. This is where, well, the wolf then attacks it by just clawing at it, of course trying to bite it because, yeah, Akka can actually control it like that. And this is where, well, the beast is kind of getting annoyed. It's trying to hit the, what's called, puppets, trying to swing them away like if there's flies to him. Or the beast, mostly to him or her, or whatever. This is where, well, or him or they or whatever. But yeah, this is where, well, Naruto is drawing really fast as he can. He's right now just drawing on the paper, and of course this is where, well, Naruto then thinks about it. The last time that he drew on this paper, he can control something like, what's it called? Well, not control, mostly create something like Cosette height. That was just because he had what's called bad chakra, even though he passes out the last time. This time he has good chakra, but he might need that chakra. Even if he creates this beast, like this beast is what's called height and intensity or whatever, would he be able to even add enough chakra to even summon it out from what's called the page? This is where he's thinking too much, and this is where Aka did get pushed away. Well, get hit by sand attack because yeah, it was near sand. So of course Aka kind of falls down. This is where Naruto says Aka, or yeah, he kind of heard it scream Aka. This is where Naruto says Aka. This is where Naruto gets up, and this is where the creature was about to attack him, like slam his arm down. And this is where Naruto couldn't do anything until he decides to go on the paper, draw something really fast, and pulls out a kind of ink tanto. Still has the same shape and blade cutting and all that. And this is where he blocks an attack from the beast, managing to, and can actually feel the tanto that he created to be an actual like tanto instead of like, well, just a color creation of it. This is where, well, it did cut the beast. This is where the beast gets angry and rushes at Naruto with high speed. This is where Naruto was about to get hit by it, but of course, something flew past him, and Naruto saw it. Like a clay bird look like thing, or not even a clay bird, like a clay bat. This is where, well, Naruto was far enough to see anyway. It was like very close near the beast, and something said, Kai. Boom! This is where Naruto saw the explosion. This is where the beast gets pushed away, like further, well, kind of to the side of him, just gets pushed away. This is where Naruto now got his chance to kind of see if Aka's okay. And of course, this is where Naruto says, Aka, are you okay? Aka says, yeah, I'm okay. She's just coughing some sand, but yeah. This is where Naruto says, oh, good. This is where, well, Naruto then tells her to kind of grab onto his hand just to see if, well, kind of just tells her to grab onto his hand so she would kind of see if she's okay and all that, to kind of pick her up. And of course she gets up, but her leg is kind of twisted because when the sand attacked her and she did fall down, she did kind of twist her leg. So Naruto says, then let's just go. This is where, well, Aka said, what about the beast? Or whatever that thing is. This is where Naruto says, we can't defeat it. Not at our level. We're only getting. This is where Aka says, only if we're stronger. Only if he was here. Naruto says, who? This is where a person appeared with two cloaked figures with two red clouds. This is where, well, this person pulls out something from behind him like a pouch and a pile of clay and starts kind of telling his arm, hand to kind of, well, mouth mostly, eat the clay. And this is where he pulls it to the front of him and starts making something. This is where this person says, artist, an explosion, throws something straight to the beast and says, Kai! And this is where the beast goes, boom! So the thing that he launches was a bigger bird and explodes at the beast. This is where, well, Naruto's like, what the? That was the same power explosion as what I saw. This is where Naruto says, who are they? This is where, well, the other person pulls out something that, well, Aka was actually surprised. Strings of chakra. And this is where he pulls out a scroll and appear a, well, puppet. This is where he then attaches chakra string to the puppet. And this puppet was basically the third Kazekage the Iron Sand used. This is where the third Kazekage sends iron sand at the beast, cutting it into a million pieces. This is where the only time Aka ever saw that, that's the third Kazekage. This is where she then gets reminded of, well, someone she just remembers. She starts kind of crying a little bit. This is where Aka says, big bro. This is where Sasori, he kind of hated the fact that he kind of hates to see his sister kind of cry. This is where Naruto says, do you know him? This is where Aka says, kind of. She doesn't really want to talk about it. This is where Naruto says, you don't really need to talk about it. It's fine. This is where, well, Naruto kind of looks at the other person that's next to him. And this person has a little bit of blonde hair showing a little bit. But he's trying to cover it up also. Sasori also didn't notice that Deidara tried to cover up his, like, hair color. This is where basically Deidara, before kind of jumping in and all that, he tries to kind of like use the cloak to kind of cover up his hair, so Naruto won't be able to see it. Is it where, well, still a little bit of blonde hair was kind of let go. Well, let go from the cloak, and of course can see it. And Naruto saw it. He says, blonde hair. That's where Naruto remembers seeing a wanted poster. Mostly wanted poster. Someone named, what's it called? Well, he didn't get to read the poster really fast because Kurisuke kind of ripped the poster and then burned it. But the only thing that said blonde hair person wanted for trying to kill the what's it called, the Tsuchikage. Of course, Naruto did ask the Tsuchikage for it, but there was no information for it because the Tsuchikage lied and said that, oh, he was already captured and executed for his crimes. But Naruto can still remember the what's called poster, blonde hair. That's where Naruto says, "You're." If I can remember, where the have I seen you? That's where Naruto's trying to remember, because he doesn't remember fully its name, but say Deidara or something, but he can't fucking remember. I swear, well, Sasori and Deidara did manage to take out the giant, giant golem, because it was a golem. It looked like a monkey, but it was only a golem creation. And of course, it got destroyed while Sasori uses iron sand of the Kazekage, and Deidara keeps sending explosions. So of course, they go into the camp and find the, S rank missing ninja that they needed. It was only needed. He was a missing rank ninja that was, from the Earth, mostly Earth country, or from a small village. So of course, not small village. It was from what's called Stone Village. But yeah, that's where this S rank missing ninja did something to the Wind Daimyo. That's why he had a bounty on him. This is where Sasori did manage to tie up the S rank missing ninja, and they either kind of made a bird, clay bird. This is where, they get on and just take away from the S rank missing ninja. This is where, after the mission was kind of completed, some of the teammates were hurt and all that. Chiyo was taking her team, back to the sand because they were kind of hurt. Even though her team will probably not be able to make it, Naruto decides to kind of ask if they will be able to go to the stone instead, because they seem pretty hurt. With Aka's two other teammates. This is where Chiyo says, I don't know. We were only assigned to do this to get rid of what's called the two border side from the bandits. I don't know if that's okay. This is where Naruto says, I would take all the blame for it if it's not okay. This is where Tetsuo was about to say, wait, Naruto, no. This is where Naruto says, it's fine. I'll take any blame. This is where, Naruto created what's called the same height and size of what's called Kazukitu, and kind of told Chiyo and what's called put his other two teammates on the wolf creation. This is where they go to the stone village, and of course Akka and her teammates were kind of treated, but yeah. Of course, this was the Tsuchikage sees Chiyo. Well, not Chiyo. Chill, and of course Chill just says, hello there, Tsuchikage. This is where, the Tsuchikage says, hello. I know Naruto was the one to kind of bring you so your team could be healed. I don't mind that. Besides, it was my fault for even sending some cannons towards what's called, to fight some B rank ninja and then finding out there was an S rank ninja. That was even terrible and worse in my part. This is where, Anoki says, and I feel terrible for even asking the Kazekage for getting to kind of fight in their other side of the border, since it was only like a border split of the bandits being on one side and on the other side. So yeah, this is where she kind of nodded. This is where Anoki says, I do want to make an alliance with the Kazekage. This is where Chill, or whatever her name is, the old lady, kind of nodded and says, I guess I can give a message to the Kazekage to see if that will work. This is where, Anoki says, thank you, if that will actually make anything better. This is where, well, her, mostly the old lady's teammates start getting better, and of course, this is where, well, it says, come along. Now, of course, Naruto did talk to Akka, and Akka did kind of open up a little bit, saying that person that was kind of using puppets was kind of her older brother. She didn't say her name, mostly. Well, she didn't really want to, but yeah. This is where Naruto nodded and said, understandable. Besides, I don't really know if I have family or not. So, I'm just glad that you're okay. This is where Akka kind of gets flustered and says, yeah, thanks. Thank you again, Naruto. This is where Naruto smiles and, yeah, she just gets to leave, but yeah. This is where Naruto does remember the other cloak figure. And the fact that, bird. That bird and explosion seems so familiar. Familiar towards, like, what he can do similar, but he can do better. So he doesn't really understand. Of course, we go far and far distance. After getting paid with the money and all, this is where Sasori kind of asks, why do you cover up your blonde hair? Usually you don't cover up your blonde hair and don't even cover up your hair with the cloak anyway. But why did you cover it up back there? It's where Deidara says, then why did you cover up your hair? You usually would show your red hair. Then again, you would probably rather be in that big ass puppet thing or whatever. Sasori says, I have my reasons, and I have mine. I didn't want to be seen by stone ninjas. No, that's not the reason why you did it. That blonde haired kid, he had blue hair, blue eye and a red eye. Could it be that you might have a sibling? That's where Deidara says the one who has a sibling. So, maybe. Whoever knows. That's where Sasori says, don't ignore me. That's where Deidara says, I only talk to people who actually has friends. This is where Sasori gets a tick mark and starts kind of arguing with Deidara. But yeah. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for part 3 of What If Naruto was from a special clan. So yeah. Have a nice potato day, potato night, potato soup, potato, and bye. So yeah, good night.